Shall we start?
Yeah, I think Samish.
കുഴപ്പമില്ല
Okay, it's 6
ചിലപ്പോ
o'clock.
സൗണ്ട് ഇനിയും വരാം. No worries.
Okay. So, namaste and good evening all. Respected teachers, colleagues, dear friends and students, and distinguished speakers of today's webinar, Mr. Sunil Kumar OG and Mr. Samish Menon, the moderator. On behalf of COPS Global, I extend a warm welcome to all the participants who have joined with us today for the second talk of the Pharma Fair International Webinar Series, a guiding light for the next generation pharma professionals. Today's talk is delivered by Sunil Kumar OG on the topic Natural Products Industry and Career Options. COPS Global is back again, yet on another day of national importance. Today, October 2nd, Gandhi Jayanti. On behalf of all the members of COPS Global, I extend a warm, happy Gandhi Jayanti. Let us all follow the path of truth and wisdom and pay homage to Father of our nation on this day. Remembering our great Mahatma, let us have a silent prayer for 30 seconds. Thank you. Be the change that you want to see in the world. These words of wisdom by Mahatma Gandhi guides us in our journey. The journey of COPS Global began on 5th September 2021 on Teachers' Day. The webinar series was inaugurated by our teacher, Professor A.K. Chandrasekharan sir, in presence of Dr. Sudhakaran Nair sir. The first talk was delivered by Samish Menon. The session was moderated by Mr. Harry Jose. We had a good number of participation. Around 400 participants attended the first webinar, which was hosted on Zoom and was also live casted on YouTube and Facebook Live. We received number of feedbacks from the participants, and we are happy to know that many of the students benefited and got an idea about the career opportunities in pharma sales and marketing from the first talk by Samish Menon. Before going on to our second talk, let us listen to one of our students, Neetu L. Shiju, a third year B.Pharm student of College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Government Medical College, Kottayam, which I believe is a sum up of all the feedbacks that we have received for the first webinar. Neetu, are you there? Please unmute yourself. Okay. Neetu, clear. You're not audible now.
Hello, sir.
Now you are audible. Okay, carry on. Neetu?
Let's move to the other student.
Anaga, can I call the next? Neetu, you are not audible. Okay. Anyway, I'll just read out the feedback that we have received from Neetu. Neetu has written that I had attended the previous session led by Dr. Samish Thekedal and Harry Jose. Prior to the session, I was unaware of the career prospect of marketing in pharma industry. And I also believed in the notion that it was quite challenging for women to pursue such a career. So this session was an eye-opener for me, and I was able to debunk a lot of myths that I had in my mind. I think this moment to thank COPS Global for their efforts in organizing such a webinar. And I am also looking forward to participating in more webinars so that students could figure out what to do next, especially in these desperate times. Thank you, Neetu. This is the feedback which she had written to us, and we have received so many feedbacks from many of the students, and almost all the students are eagerly waiting for more seminar from more such talks from COPS Global. So, dear students, this webinar series is designed with you in our mind. Only the students are the focus point. So feel free to ask for any support you want from us. Then please give your feedback so that we understand your concerns and can be of help in your journey. Okay, so that's it from my side. With this note, may I request Mr. Samish Menon to please take over for the next session. Mr. Samish Menon is a familiar face to all of us.
Hello, Ranjish.
Ranjish
Is
is
there an
muted. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
you
okay?
can-
No. Is there an echo on the line, or can I go forward?
No, you are audible and clear. No problem.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Thank you, Ranjish. And first of all, I think thank you so much, Neetu, for the kind words, because what it matters is whatever the whole group works on, and if that is something which you guys are seeing valuable, then there is nothing that is going to stop us, So great feedback, and thank you so much for giving that. But as Ranjish mentioned, be open on how we want this to be run in the future. What kind of things would be adding? We have so many experts in the whole alumnus or alumni groups of COPS Trivandrum. So that would be great to hear, and looking forward to have more such sessions with all of you. And before beginning, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. We have many people across the world joining, and that is something phenomenal to have achieved within second webinar of this whole series. Again, to people whom they don't know me, I'm Samish Tekil. I work as a global brand director with Takeda in marketing. I passed out of COPS Trivandrum. I did my B.Pharm and passed out in 1997 and have been working after that. It's my greatest pleasure today to moderate this second webinar, that too with Sunil Kumar Oji, one of my closest friends, I would say, in life. We did B.Pharm together. I think there is hardly any time when we both were feeling that it has been some time we have talked. So I think he's one of those guys where we have been in touch for the last almost 20 years or more, continuously. So it's great to think I'm able to share a platform with Sunil Kumar Oji, that to share some of the learnings with you guys out there. Sunil is not only an expert in natural products industry, where he has gone through corporate. He has done his M.Pharm, of course, in the beginning, run through corporate, and he's also a guy who has shown the courage or took the right steps in his career, where at some point he realized he needs to be an entrepreneur. That takes a lot of guts, of course. He started Innovis and then Innopolis, and then now I can proudly say Sunil Kumar Oji and his partners are kind of creating a niche for his whole business within the realm of natural products. So that's great to have as one among us in the alumni, who can actually share some of his learnings and successes and what at least the students should be looking for, as some guidance. Before we begin, I also want to steal some of the key one of the key metaphor which Harry Jose mentioned when he was a moderator for the last session. Harry was impressive. So Harry, what he mentioned was, when he began, He asked a question to everyone. Have you been to Lulu Mall? And when you go there, when you're in a state of a confusion, you look around which store I should go, or rather, ഞാൻ നോക്കുന്ന സ്റ്റോർ എവിടെയാണ് എന്ന് മനസ്സിലാവാത്തൊരു വിഷയം ഏതൊരു വലിയ മാളിൽ പോയാലും ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോഴൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ കാണുന്ന ഒരു സാധനമുണ്ട്, ഒരു വലിയൊരു ബോർഡ് എല്ലാ ഫ്ലോറിലും, യു ആർ ഹിയർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു ഒരു ലൊക്കേഷൻ ഐക്കൺ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സ്റ്റാർ. Harry was so poignant in telling that this is what exactly this webinar is about. This is to tell you where we stand now and what is your environment there. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പോവാനുള്ള സ്റ്റോർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ to achieve your interest, what are the possible paths? That's exactly what these webinars are about. So without spending much time or without taking the time between you and Sunil's fantastic session, let me stop here. And also, if you have questions, please feel free. This is for you. So please feel free to put your questions in chat. Manoj and myself will be looking into those chats as we go forward. We can, of course, pass it on to Sunil Kumar Roji as we progress. So put on your comments, put on your questions, because that's what you are going to gain from this whole thing. Over to you, Sunil. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samish, for your kind words. It is really happy to be in this session. Like in another classroom, we are all together. Right. So let's start our session. So in this session, I'm just putting an agenda here, like introduction and natural products industry and natural products industry opportunities. How do we go for career preparations and what are the takeaways from this session? Okay. So I think Samish already given a brief introduction, not brief, a vast introduction, but I just want to show my education. I did my bachelor in pharmacy from College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Medical College Thiruvananthapuram, and I did my M.Pharm also in phytochemistry and pharmacognosy. And during my career, I did an executive MBA course from IIM Kozhikode, which was a 2-year course. And throughout my career, I started my career from Sami Labs. I mean, of course, it's a proud institution because it's also started from one of our alumni from College of Pharmaceutical Sciences. I mean, maybe first or second batch student, Dr. Muhammad Majid. And I started learning from my career from there. Then I worked on different areas of phytopharmaceuticals and herbals, etc. Then I put my hands on product development in different areas like tea, coffee, spices, botanical extractions, and maybe half of my career I spent on spices value addition. So probably many of my talks will come across in that. And I did a lot of technical supports for different pharmaceutical industry as well as pharmaceutical industry. And I started working as an entrepreneur. We started our own firm. Maybe I think it's 2016 last we started. Now it's around 5 years. Now we are giving a technical support to different industries, and we are giving like a turnkey projects, etc., etc. That is a brief about me. Yeah. And again, we will start the question here. Probably once the question is over, you can put your answers in the chat box. I have 2 pictures here. One is a perfume. I mean, like a premium kind of perfume, which is from a perfumery company called Creed. They make perfumes for a lot of British actresses like Grace Kelly and Hepburn. And this particular perfume is around cost around I would say like 1,000 USD, which is around 73,000 rupees, Indian rupees. And we have here a picture of Kerala paratha and beef. I mean, it's a fascinating thing for any of the Malus across. So it's around $1.5. And what is a common aspect? I mean, what is a commonality between these 2 things? Probably you can put in the chat box. We will come to that story back maybe after 1 or 2 slides. Then we'll look for your chats. Okay. And I'll just give you a gist of what is the natural product industry. I mean, what are the areas which comes under natural product industry. I just given a brief, I mean, categorized like it's a common platform like a botanicals, which includes almost all herbs and botanicals, tea, coffee, etc., etc. So from these botanicals, we can derive a lot of different value-added products. Like one this thing is like essential oils, and next probably like spices. We'll do a lot of oleoresins and floral extracts, which is going into high-end perfumes, etc., etc. And there are other botanicals, like in probably many of the BPharm students' curriculum, there'll be a lot of what do you call the herbal drugs manufacturing, and there will be a lot of, I think there is a lot of introduction about the herb drugs. So these all comes into the botanical extracts category. And there is tea and coffee. I included this one in as a value added because now there is a lot of value addition happening in tea and coffee. Like we are only familiar with the general beverage kind of purpose. Like tea is a common tea just like CTC or any of our we call that conventional kind of things. And coffee be the roasted coffee with a blend of different things like chicory, etc., etc. But nowadays, there is a lot of standardization happening in tea and coffee also. So we can consider that is also in a natural products area because there is a lot of value addition happening. Okay. So just look at what is the market size of this. Total botanical extracts, you can say around 30.8 USD, I mean, billion USD. And we are expecting a growth of around 6% CAGR. So we can expect in 2026 it could reach up to around 55.3 billion USD. And what are the types of this particular products comes under? Like it can be phytomedicines, essential oils, spices, flavors, and fragrance. And it can go into different pharmaceutical applications, food and beverage, and cosmetics. And what are the sources for the natural products? So we all know, like it could be any leaves, stems, rhizomes, fruits, flowers, etc., etc. So this is a kind of industry. I mean, there is a huge potential because 6% CAGR is a very, I mean, you can say maybe CAGR around more than 3%. You can say it's a fast-growing industry. And what are key drivers for this industry is like everybody is looking for natural products create of enthusiasm. Like everybody is thinking like natural products. Okay, it's a non-toxic. So that is the major key driver for a natural products growth. And now the disposable income of people are also growing up. So India itself, you can see there is a spending patterns and different compared to the earlier one, and people started spending a lot. So that is the 2-3 key drivers you can say for the natural product industry, and people are looking for the non-toxic material. Yeah. Okay, coming back to our question, I think I didn't get much answers, but somebody honestly says there is a spices in both. Okay, that's a good point. So, any other answers? I can wait for a moment. Yeah. So this two product, one is the highest premium and perfume, and this is a beef curry, is a general, commonly used. This both contains spice, which is very, rich and well versed. We will use in our daily use, which is a cinnamon. Cinnamon oil is used in the high-end perfume, and cinnamon as a powder, it is used in our beef curry. So this is so spices and herbs, we are using in almost all our daily life. So, and it can be a perfume, high-end one, or it can be a common one. Yeah, and you know that the famous cola mix like Coca-Cola and Pepsi that contains a lot of natural ingredients like nutmeg, cinnamon, etc., etc. So this is the major cola making in the cola taste making components in the Coca-Cola as well as Pepsi Cola. Okay, so let's see what all the value. I mean, botanical industry market where we are going by application. Like as I said earlier, like there is a lot of products coming out of botanical industry, like essential oils, oleoresins, floral extracts, and other botanicals, etc., etc. And this is majorly going into a major sector will be going into personal care and fragrance. And next will be, I mean, the trend will be going to food and beverage industry, then phytopharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals, which you can say pharma and others, and a lot of things. I mean, like a lot of people are interested in making home care and cleaning products, etc. So this is a general area of where the products, I mean, natural products industry is growing, and this is I mean, like you can say a distribution of various value-added products used in the industry. Okay. And I just want to give you what are the different technologies used in natural products industries. Like one of the major technologies used is like an extraction. Extraction itself will use different areas like steam distillation, we can call it a kind of extraction, and hydro distillation. And nowadays people use the high pressure distillation also to get high yield, like it's especially, you know, most of the natural products will be having a very less yield, like 0.1% or 0.2%, 0.3%, etc., etc. In terms of if you're considering that volatile essential oils. And so there's a new technology used is a high pressure distillation, where you can recover much of the fine less yield products from the raw material. And generally used extraction method is a solvent extraction and aqueous extraction. Aqueous extraction, you know, almost traditionally also we used to make a lot of kashayas, etc., etc. And solvent extraction, earlier time in Ayurveda it is used like arishtas and asavas. So it's a self-generated alcohol is used as an aid to extract the product, I mean the extract. And nowadays we use a lot of different solvents like hexane, ethyl acetate, acetone, methanol, etc. Nowadays, most of the industries limited their use to ethyl acetate and alcohol because acceptance of other solvents in the industry, I mean, like different geographical regions, most of the people don't like to use like a chloro solvent, which is a good solvent to extract very selective solvent. But many of the geography, they restrict this kind of solvents. So most of the kind of extraction techniques now restricting into using solvents like ethyl acetate and alcohol, water, etc. And this solvent extraction itself we can divide into two different types, like continuous extraction and batch type. So from this we can get the products like oleoresins and extracts. And there's a relatively new technology. You cannot say it's a new technology, but it's recently got a popularity in the sector, like supercritical fluid extraction. The advantage of supercritical fluid extraction is in this technology, we are not using any solvents. Whereas we are converting, generally CO2 is used as an supercritical fluid. So we will give apply a pressure and temperature so that CO2 will be converting into a fluid, and it will act as a solvent, which is not mostly, it will be a non-polar kind of solvent. So in food extraction business, because we are mostly food extraction people, mostly will be looking at the flavor part of it. So that particular extraction is getting popularity. It's because it's most of the flavor industry, they are looking for that flavor part. So it's mostly non-polar kind of thing. Okay. So, and we can easily extract the top notes. Top notes means which is when you're taking for example, if you're taking a cardamom and just crush it, so you'll get an immediate smell. That is because of the highly volatile part of it. So extracting this kind of highly volatile, which is giving a premium, like a very good note. It may not be easy to take it out using a technology called steam distillation and solvent extraction, because when you are applying heat, vacuum, etc., there is a possibility of losing these top notes, which is that immediate smelling, high volatile things. So probably that product you will get a different kind of profile altogether if you are using in steam distillation and solvent extraction, whereas you will get when you are using the supercritical fluid extraction, we will get a very good aroma which is very close to the nature. Like it will contains almost a similar profile how it is present in the nature itself. Yeah, so that is a beautiful technology used nowadays. And there is a lot of delivery systems used in different natural products industries. Like we use blending, homogenizing, emulsions, which is going for a liquid delivery system. And again, we all pharmacists are very familiar with. And so these are some opportunities I would like to explain to you in the later stages. And these are the certain product delivery systems, so which is a liquid delivery system and which is a product delivery system, which is applicable in any cases of natural product industry, whether it can address it to any, like it can be a pharmaceutical, it can be a nutraceutical, it can be a high-end perfumery application, it can be a food and beverage application. So these all techniques are, it's widely used, and microencapsulation, spray drying, etc. And when you're looking at the application of essential oils, you can, as I explained earlier, it is going to a food and beverage flavor ingredient, and sometimes it is used in preservatives. It is used in personal care, pharma and nutraceuticals, perfumes and cosmetics, and nowadays spa and aromatherapy is a fast-growing area. And there could be some functional fragrances also. It can be used in cleaning, fabric care, etc. And of course, the oleoresin applications. You can say it is used in food and beverages, and flavor ingredients, preservations, etc. Same as any other essential oil. It is used in functional foods. And it is used as a natural colors like turmeric, which is one of the usually used to make a yellow color. This marigold flower extract, which is standardized on lutein, which is like giving a orangish yellow color, and paprika, which is extracted from chilies, our red chilies, which is widely used to make a red color pigment. So that is a opportunities lying in, and it is used in again nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals. And there is a lot of non-food applications also, like when you are extracting spices, you can convert that into, for example, personal defense. Everybody knows this pepper spray, which is, sometimes like ladies are using, they keep it in their wallet like pepper spray. So this contains capsaicin. It's around 0.06%, and capsaicin is nothing but it's a high pungent part of our chili, which is in natural products industry, it is getting separated. Like when you are taking up the extraction of a chili, the color and the pungent part is getting separated, and this capsaicin will be concentrated into high percentage, like around 95%. Right? It's generally used in personal defense and as well as This capsaicin is widely used in many of the anti-inflammatory creams and all to make a peripheral vascular circulation easy. I mean, I think it's most of the anti-inflammatory cream it is used. And coming back to career opportunity, I think I discussed this one in like one of the previous session. Probably some people may be aware of this. And I was discussing with Sami and all, like എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു നമ്മുടെ ഒരു കരിയർ എങ്ങനെയാണ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്? സമീഷ്, so I have a story here. അതായത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ഒരു പെഡസ്ട്രിയൻ റോഡ് സൈഡ്, സോ ഹീസ് ഒരു ആള് ഒരു ഹോഴ്സ് റൈഡറെ കാണുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അയാൾ ചോദിക്കും, ഈ റൈഡറുടെ അടുത്ത് ചോദിക്കും, നിങ്ങൾ എവിടേക്കാണ് പോകുന്നത്? അപ്പോ പുള്ളി പറയും, സോറി ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ, ഒരുപക്ഷെ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ കുതിരയുടെ അടുത്ത് ചോദിക്കേണ്ടി വരും എവിടേക്കാണ് പോകുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ മെനി ഓഫ് അവർ ഫാർമസി കരിയർ ലൈക്ക് ഇറ്റ്സ് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്. നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ഈ ബിഫാം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഈ കുതിരയുടെ ബിഫാം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ഇതിൽ കയറിയിരിക്കും. സോ വി ഡോണ്ട് നോ എവിടേക്കാണ് ഇത് നമ്മൾ പോകുന്നതെന്ന് അറിയില്ല. ഓക്കെ, ബിഫാം കോഴ്സ് കഴിയുന്നു, ദെൻ വിൽ തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട്. സോ ഞങ്ങളുടെയും ഒരു കരിയറിലും ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായത്. പ്രോബ്ലി സമീർ ക്യാൻ ഷെയർ സം ഓഫ് മേ ബി സമീഷ്, നമ്മുടെ ഒരു കരിയറിന്റെ ഒരു എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തതെന്നൊക്കെയുള്ള ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി, ഒരു റിയൽ സ്റ്റോറി ഒന്ന് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തത് നന്നായിരിക്കും.
അതെ, അല്ല അത് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അത് ആലോചിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് തന്നെ ഒരു വിശ്വാസമില്ല. അതായത് എന്റെ കാര്യം പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ 1997 നമ്മള് ഫൈനൽ ഇയർ എക്സാം ഒക്കെ കഴിഞ്ഞ്, ആരുടെയോ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട് ലൈൻ. ഓക്കെ, ഇപ്പൊ ഈ എക്സാമും അതിന്റെ റിസൾട്ടും ഒക്കെ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാലുള്ള കലാപരിപാടികളൊക്കെ അറിയാലോ. അപ്പോ 97 അതൊക്കെ കഴിഞ്ഞ് നമ്മള് റിസൾട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് ഹോസ്റ്റലിൽ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് യൂഷ്വൽ സസ്പെക്ട്സ്. അതായത് നീയുണ്ട്, ഓജി, പിന്നെ എൽസൺ, സോണി, ജോഷി. അപ്പോ നമ്മൾ പിറ്റേ ദിവസം ആ ഒരു ഇതിൽ പത്രമൊക്കെ വായിച്ച് പരീക്ഷയൊക്കെ പാസ്സായി, ഇനി അങ്ങോട്ട് പുറത്തോട്ട് പോലെ ഫ്രീ ആവുകയാണെന്നുള്ളൊരു ഇതില് അപ്പോഴാണ് ആരോ ഒരാൾ ആ പേപ്പറിൽ തന്നെ ഒരു അഡ്വർടൈസ്മെന്റ് കാണുന്നത്. മെഡിക്കൽ റെപ്രസെന്റേറ്റീവ്സിന് ആവശ്യമുണ്ട്, 2 കമ്പനീസ്, ഒന്ന് ജോൺസൺ ആൻഡ് ജോൺസൺ, പിന്നെ ഒന്ന് GSK. അപ്പം അതുവരെ പക്ഷെ എന്റെ ഒരു ലൈൻ നമ്മുടെ രുദ്രാക്ഷം, നവീൻ, രാമദാസ് അവരൊക്കെ എന്റെ സീനിയേഴ്സാ, അറിയാത്തവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി 1 കൊല്ലം സീനിയേഴ്സാണ്. അപ്പൊ അവരായിട്ട് ഒരു നമ്മൾ റിസർച്ചിലേക്ക് പോകണം, പുറത്തു പോയിട്ട് പഠിക്കണം എന്നുള്ള ലൈനിൽ വേറൊരു ചിന്തയുണ്ട് കേട്ടോ. അത് നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു പത്രത്തിലൊരു പരസ്യം. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും പറഞ്ഞു യു ഷുഡ് ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി അപ്ലൈ. അത് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തു. അതും നമ്മളുടെ തൊട്ടടുത്ത റൂമിലെ വേറൊരു പയ്യന്റെ ഷർട്ടാണ് കടം മേടിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്തത്, പാസ്പോർട്ട് സൈസ്. അപ്പൊ അയച്ചു. GSK വിളിച്ചില്ല, ജോൺസൺ ആൻഡ് ജോൺസൺ വിളിച്ചു. Then I thought, okay, before I go for my US studies, I'll spend some time as a medical rep. പക്ഷെ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് പിന്നെ US വിളിച്ചതും ഇല്ല, നമ്മൾ പിന്നെ തിരിഞ്ഞു നോക്കിയിട്ടില്ല. ആ ഒരു ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന ആ ഒരു ഈവന്റ് ആണ് എൻ്റെ കരിയർ ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് കിക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്. I don't know whether that is the right way to go ahead. എന്തൊക്കെയോ ഭാഗ്യം കൊണ്ടത് അവിടെ നമ്മൾ കറക്റ്റ് സ്ഥലത്ത് വീണു എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കണം ഇപ്പോഴും. പക്ഷെ എല്ലാവരും അങ്ങനെയല്ല കേട്ടോ. നമ്മുടെ ബാച്ചിൽ ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കുന്നവർ വിചാരിക്കും, അയ്യോ ഇവരൊക്കെ ഒരുവിധം രക്ഷപ്പെട്ട് വന്നതാണ്. എല്ലാവരും അങ്ങനെയല്ല. അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം നമ്മളുടെ ഇടയിൽ ഊക്കൻ ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്. ഐ തിങ്ക് ഐ ആം ഗോയിങ് ടു പുട്ട് മനോജ് ഓൺ ദ സ്പോട്ട്. മനോജ്, can you നിന്റെ പരിപാടികൾ എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, sure, very well.
Yeah, I had little more control on the horse. So okay, so anyway, that is time when I was reading a lot of books at the British Council Library in Thiruvananthapuram on biotechnology towards the end of BPharm, and it was quite encouraging. That time the hot topic was, it is back in 97. It was more on recombinant DNA technology and protein expression. If you look at the Nature Biotechnology or articles like that. So I took, why don't take a different direction and go into bio-related things. So I applied for Rodgate and applied for UDCT. That was the only college at that time which was offering a B.Pharm entry into the biotechnology. So that is a quite encouraging change, and that gave a lot of different dimensions. And from there, I could get into industry, and though I started with the nutraceutical in my career, but all throughout there until where I am now, it is in diagnostics. It's basically the fundamentals in B.Pharm that is driving me. And if you ask me specifically, it is pharmaceutical engineering. I don't think many students are opting or they have special interest in that, but this is an example I would like to give, that if you have a special interest in a topic or you have passion in a topic, pursue it. It will help you all throughout life, because
engineering interest.
I had a specific interest in engineering that is helping a lot, but my fundamentals are from B.Pharm, the engineering topics. I should take special thanks to Gita ma'am if I don't know if she's listening.
Amazing.
Oji, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Back to you, Oji.
Okay. So, end story again, I mean, it's a little different. Like, B.Pharm, in a hospital pharmacy training, fortunately, I got into M.Pharm. M.Pharm, actually, I was looking at what to do next. And I conference in Chennai, then I was searching job like പണ്ടുള്ള സിനിമകളിലൂടെ അതായത് ഒരാളൊരു ഫയലും പിടിച്ചിട്ട് കുറെ സ്വിമ്മിങ് കയ്യിൽ പിടിച്ചിട്ട് ഐ മീൻ ലൈക്ക് വാക്കിംഗ് ലിറ്ററലി നമ്മള് ഇപ്പൊ അറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ടൈം എനിക്ക് ഇന്റർനെറ്റ് ഒന്നും അത്ര ഒരു ഇതില്ലായിരുന്നു. സോ we'll just go through the yellow pages and look at the address and go to every gate like boy, then we'll give the resume. I mean, like later I got a connection. I mean, I got an address, the Sami labs, and I would apply the. Then I enter into the profession. I mean, it's all plan. I mean, it's all happened. Okay, so that's story. I was looking at comparing the careers of a pharmaceutical.
Oji, ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. അതായത് നമുക്ക് ചില സ്ഥലത്തുനിന്ന് കമന്റ് വരുന്നുണ്ട്, വോയിസ് അത്ര ക്ലിയർ അല്ല, അപ്പോൾ ഒരു ബ്രേക്കിംഗ് ഉണ്ട്. സോ വാട്ട് ഐ സജസ്റ്റ് ഇസ്, ഇഫ് യു ആർ ഓക്കെ, എന്തായാലും നിന്റെ വീഡിയോ സ്റ്റക്കാണ്. അത് നമ്മൾ വീഡിയോ ആയിട്ടല്ല കാണുന്നത്, എപ്പോഴും സ്റ്റോപ്ഡ് വീഡിയോ ആണ്. അപ്പൊ വീഡിയോ ഒന്ന് ബ്ലോക്ക് ചെയ്താല്, നീ ഒന്ന് ഓഫ് ചെയ്താല്, മൈറ്റ് ബി ദ ബാൻഡ്വിഡ്ത്ത് വുഡ് ബി ബെറ്റർ, പീപ്പിൾ ക്യാൻ ലിസൺ ടു യു ബെറ്റർ. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക്സ്. യാ,
thank you. So okay, so compare the careers. I just looked into what is a pharmaceutical. I mean, suppose if a B.Pharm or a Pharm student, once he's completed, I just generally categorized like most of the students is going to opt what do you call the shops, hospital, distribution, etc., etc. I mean, I can see around 70% of the people are looking at that option. And some people, maybe you can say around candidates of around 15% will be looking at the private jobs, which is into pharmaceuticals, clinicals, etc., etc. And around 10% are fortunate enough to get a government job, like a drug inspector or drug testing laboratory. I mean, then academicians, etc. And you can say around 5% of the pie will be going doing as an entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, I included entrepreneurs in the sense like 5% is how the 5% came is like most of the shop owners also I included as an entrepreneur in that area. Okay. So as we are explained earlier, like where is the opportunity in the nut products industry? Like a career opportunity. As I explained, like we have just categorized the botanicals into essential oils, oleoresins, floral extracts, other botanicals, tea, coffee, etc. So one of the main good opportunity for a pharmaceutical student, whether he's a postgraduate or nowadays there is a PharmD also is there, and a lot of people are opting the PhD. So there is a good opportunity in natural products research and development. why it is important for a pharmacy student, the natural products industry. I mean, it will be much easier for a pharmacy student to perform, because during their career, I mean, during their B.Pharm graduation course itself, they're learning a lot of, in their curriculum itself, there is a lot of inclusion like pharmacognosy and phytochemistry, and they are well aware of how natural products behave, and there is a lot of technologies they are learning, like TLC technology and column chromatography and HPLC, etc. And they are know how a compound can be identified using MRs, NMR, IR, etc. And they know what is a toxicity about, and they know what is a medicinal. They know what is a medicinal chemistry structure, etc., etc. So they can always compete with any other people, like what we call chemistry. The major competitors comes from the chemistry background, so they can definitely compete with these people when it is when research and development is concerned. Okay, and there is another opportunity lies in natural products industries, like the product scale-ups. Like most of the products are born in laboratory, and when you're taking that particular product or process to a higher scale, like it can be a pilot scale or it can be a commercial scale, there is a lot of intervention is required. So it's not easy, like നമ്മളൊരു ലാബിൽ ഒരു പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി അത് അതുപോലെ തന്നെ don't think it's that easy to replicate that same thing in production, because when we are choosing different equipments, there is a lot of engineering involved, there is a lot of skills involved, there's a lot of research also involved. So as per my opinion, a pharmaceutical background who is a blend of chemistry, engineering, and he knows better molecule, how it behaves, etc., etc. He can easily perform in a scale-up industry. He can easily choose, because he is very well unit operations, and he knows which equipment can be easily chosen, because we learn a lot of engineering, we learn a lot of unit operations, we know medicinal chemistry, we know how the molecule behaves. So for me, I feel like I mean, lost my. Can you hear me?
Yeah. For some time we lost you. Okay. I think it's about to share the screen again.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
Yes, come back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No worries. You can continue.
Okay. So no, I was talking about that scale-ups activity a pharma person can easily perform. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And of course, there is quality control, quality assurance, stability studies. Again, I mean, it's a very easy, I mean, you can say cakewalk for a college, I mean, a pharmaceutical student, because we learn a lot of instrumentations during our graduation, as well as in our post-graduation also. For example, in Thiruvananthapuram Medical College itself, we had a very nice pharmaceutical analytical laboratory setup there itself, and since we are very familiar with all this GMP practice, etc., so we are familiar with quality assurance. And again, stability studies, since we are all learned the pharmaceutics, etc., so we are all familiar with the stability studies. So I feel like a pharma student can easily fit into all these things, especially in the natural product industry. And One more thing I want to suggest here is like in tea and coffee cupping, there is a lot of opportunities. I mean, like it's a highly paid job. Only thing is you need to develop certain skill set in this area, like how to understand the flavor of tea and coffee. And nowadays, it's important, like a lot of tea and coffee industries, they use their products standardized using different analytical equipments. Like they use a lot of instrumentation to match the colors. They use the lab for matching the color. They use electronic nose to smell, which is nothing but a GC coupled with a mass spectrum. And they use a lot of analytical tools to optimize the moisture content. There's a lot of standardization on caffeine. Then there's a lot of standardization on catechins, and in tea and coffee itself, there is a lot of products coming out, like green tea extract. Everybody knows it's widely used in the nutraceutical industry, so that a lot of products are developed from that area. And in coffee also, there's a beautiful product called the green coffee extract, which is standardized on chlorogenic acid. So there is a lot of opportunity in tea and coffee extraction also. And nutraceutical, most of the nutraceuticals which is derived from the natural product industry. I mean, there is a lot of, India is one of the major contributor for a nutraceutical industry. For example, turmeric. Turmeric is one of the bulk product which is selling, and India contribute majority of that. And with this recent scenario, you can see there is a lot of boom in nutraceutical industry, especially you are looking at the natural product concern, like whether it can be a black pepper extract, or it can be standardized with black pepper extract is standardized with the pipe ring, and turmeric extract, which is nothing curcumin, which is the most popular product among everybody, and ginger extract, then tulsi extract, and combination of these. And people derive a lot of formulations using pepper and turmeric, which is highly bioavailability enhancers, etc., etc. And a lot of products are going into functional foods also, like products which is derived from different natural raw material, like for example, protein, which is one of the highest growing areas. So these are areas there is a lot of opportunity comes, like a product, whether it can be a product development, product standardization, etc. So I think our pharmacy students can contribute a lot into that industry. And perfumer, seasoning and flavor, and as I said earlier, people can easily acquire that knowledge, and maybe you can perform well in this kind of industry, like mixing, matching flavors, spices, etc., etc. And you can use a lot of delivery systems also, like micro encapsulating to deliver the perfume, or it can be a beverage, it can be a ready to mix kind of things. So there is a lot of opportunities lying in that area. And techno-commercial is one of the beautiful area in the natural product industry, because maybe senior marketing people, maybe, pardon me, like most of the industry marketing, for example, when you're looking at this marketing people, most of them will be having an engineering background, and they'll be with an engineering background and a pharmaceutical.
I guess Amish is disconnected. Maybe we'll try to reconnect.
Yeah, we'll hold on for some time. Probably to use
Prashant,
that
you can
time.
start some polls or something to the participants.
Yeah, I have launched a poll containing 5 questions to participants, and they can answer it. I'm giving some 20 seconds time.
It will take some time. Let them complete it.
Okay. Okay, then nice.
I'm back.
Yeah. And so we have put in poll for participants. Let them complete it. Meantime, OG can also present. Okay.
OG, what would you prefer? When people are doing the poll, I think it will be better if we give some time, right? Yeah, maybe let's take about a minute. A minute should be good.
I think Samish, participants will take some time to answer. Let OG continue. We'll come back to this. Yeah.
It will be like that. OG can continue.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to reach at least some 90% poll. So OG, please continue.
Okay. So what I was talking about is that perfume, seasoning, etc. And I was talking about the techno-commercial products. The problem lies with the people with the engineering background and the MBA in their hand. The marketing guys, they may not be able to convey the exact requirements which a customer is looking for and where the product, how the product is getting supplied. So there is a gap in between. So what I feel is like in natural product industry, most of the products are developed in the B2C segment and B2B. There should be a connection between end product developer as well as the ingredient manufacturer. So sometimes the marketing guys cannot give exact product what this final product blender or manufacturer is looking for. So there where this techno-commercial people comes. So they know the product as well as they know a little bit of commercial part of it also. So what they will do is like they will be suggesting a correct product where the formulate is looking for from an ingredient supplier. So that's a very good area. But only things you should acquire a lot of product knowledge in that area. So in nutraceutical as well as food and beverage industry, this is a fast growing thing. So I think definitely our pharma people should look into this. Can I close this hello?
Yeah, Sunil, continue, please.
Okay.
I think you have to put it in the slideshow. Slideshow will be better.
I am finding it a little difficult to.
No problem. Continue then. No problems.
I'll just try it.
Yeah. So participants are answering the polls, and towards the end we will give the feedback on the poll results.
Okay.
OG, we cannot see the screen now.
I'm just coming back.
Yeah.
I think I lost my screen.
So I think
do you want Manoj to?
Should I
go ahead, Manoj.
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, good. So we have around 58% of participants answered the polls. They can continue.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just summarize these career opportunities in different areas. Like you can go to the natural product industry, product development, and converting the natural product, fine phytochemicals into a semi-synthetic. Like for example, you consider like a product which is derived from thiopolchicoside. And basically, a colchicoside is a glycoside which is derived from glorious superb, but it is not generally used directly because of its toxicity. So it is converted into a thioform. It's called as thiocolchicoside, which is widely used as a skeletal muscle relaxant. Like that, there is a lot of opportunity in that area, deriving that fine molecule and converting that into a semi-synthetic form. So these are the R&Ds a lot of natural product companies are doing. And in the formulation development, production, quality assurance department, as I said earlier, we got a better hand because we know the product, what it is. We learn a lot of things, natural products, and we know how the product behaves. Am I audible?
Yes, Sunil, continue.
Yes, yeah.
And clinical research operations, clinical data management, and medical content writing, of course, we all know. I mean, like pharmaceutical students knows better. And there is a lot of grass generally regarded as a safe, like when you are going to US, a lot of natural products require these kind of certifications. So definitely our pharma students definitely can contribute a lot in these areas, in regulatory affairs. And of course, they are well in pharmacology and toxicology department. So they can always associate with this kind of research, associate with animal studies. And as I said, techno-commercial. And there is a lot of opportunity to make an entrepreneurship in this area because this is not a massive investment, I mean, investment intensive area. So entry barriers are less in this industry. So people can start some entrepreneur kind of like people can start some manufacturing, bulk manufacturing, and they can develop a lot of products like formulations like skincare and etc., cosmetics, etc. So I mean, like it's not a capital intensive kind of area. So maybe people can easily enter into that areas. And of course, in teaching, there is a pharmacognosy, phytochemistry. People can go for any like higher studies in that area, and then maybe you can look for PhDs. And nowadays, I think PharmD also is there directly. So now, Samish, general career preparation discussion probably people, I mean, like students having much usefulness, right?
Yeah, absolutely. അല്ലെങ്കിലും ഒരുപാട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് അതിൽ വരുന്നുണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ ചാറ്റിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഓജി. അതായത് പീപ്പിൾ വാണ്ട് ടു നോ ഹൗ ദേ ക്യാൻ എൻറ്റർ ഇൻ ടു ദിസ് ഏരിയ, ബി ഇറ്റ് നാച്ചുറൽ പ്രോഡക്ട്സ്, പിന്നെ what are the challenges which you face probably in your entrepreneurship area. അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരുപാടുണ്ട്. പിന്നെയും കുറച്ച് ടെക്നിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉണ്ട്, അത് നമുക്ക് അവസാനം കൊടുക്കാം.
Sunil, one of the major poll replies on career opportunities. So you can emphasize on that.
And then
career opportunities, people, because primarily students, they would like to hear more on that.
Okay. നമുക്കത് നോക്കാം. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മളൊരു I'll just try to make a career funnel slide here. അപ്പൊ നമ്മളൊരു ബിഫാമിലെ ഒരു ബിഫാം സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് look for an M.Pharm PhD, then we will convert into a lecturer or a job. Then a manager, or assistant professor if he's in teaching, a senior manager, department head. If he's an entrepreneur, he's starting a business plan at his B.Pharm stage, then groundwork in M.Pharm stage, then he's looking for a startup. Then a startup, then he'll scale it up. Then final stage he'll exit the business. So the next I mean, like Samish, probably you may be a better person to discuss about the red ocean and blue ocean. I'll just give you this. You can see the red ocean and blue ocean strategy. Red ocean strategy, we have to fight with a lot of competitors. there will be chemistry graduates, there will be postgraduates, PhDs, etc., etc. So I think for entering into a natural product industry, probably you have everybody. അതായത് നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആയിരിക്കുന്ന ടൈമിൽ തന്നെ ഒരു ബ്ലൂ ഓഷൻ സ്ട്രാറ്റജി ഉണ്ടാക്കണം. അതായത് വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ സ്കിൽ സെറ്റ് നമുക്ക് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, സോ ദാറ്റ് പീപ്പിൾ വിൽ നോട്ട് കോമ്പീറ്റ് വിത്ത് അസ്. Instead of entering just like ഒരു ബാച്ചിലർ ഡിഗ്രി ആയിട്ട് എൻ്റർ ചെയ്യണോ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഡിഗ്രി ആയിട്ട് എൻ്റർ ചെയ്യണോ into a red ocean with a lot of competitors. So we'll be going to the industry with a proper skill set. അതായത് മറ്റാൾക്കാരൊന്നും നോക്കാത്ത ഒരു ഏരിയയിലത്തെ ഒരു സ്കിൽ സെറ്റ് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അങ്ങനെ പോകണമെന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പൊ സമീഷിന്റെ ഒരു അഭിപ്രായം എന്താണ് അതില്? ഒരു what do you feel?
ഇല്ല, അതൊരു നമ്മള് ഒരു കരിയർ ടേംസിൽ പറയുമ്പം there is a word called core competence. അതിപ്പം ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ഓൺലി റൈറ്റ് ഫോർ professionals but also for organizations. അപ്പൊ ഈ കോർ കോമ്പറ്റൻസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതാണ് നമ്മളുടെ വലിയൊരു ക്രിട്ടിക്കൽ സക്സസ് ഫാക്ടർ. പക്ഷെ അത് പറയുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും മോജി, എനിക്ക് വേറൊരു അഭിപ്രായം എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഒരു സ്റ്റാർട്ടിങ് ഫ്രഷ് ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റിന് ഒരു കോർ കോമ്പറ്റൻസ് ഉണ്ടാവാൻ കുറച്ച് പാടാണ്. അൺലെസ് അതർവൈസ് ദാറ്റ് പേഴ്സൺ, ഇപ്പൊ ഞാനൊരു മനോജിന്റെ എക്സാമ്പിൾ എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, അവനൊരു ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇയർ സെക്കൻഡ് ഇയർ മുതലേ ഹി വാസ് പ്രെറ്റി ക്ലിയർ, ദിസ് ഇസ് വേർ ഐ വാണ്ടഡ് ടു ഗോ. ആൾ അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് വായിക്കാനും പഠിക്കാനും ഒക്കെ തുടങ്ങി. ദാറ്റ്സ് വൺ വേ ഓഫ് ക്രിയേറ്റിംഗ് എ കോർ കോമ്പറ്റൻസ്. പക്ഷെ വേറെ ചിലവരുടെ ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മളിൽ പലരും എന്താ ചെയ്തതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, ബിഗിനിങ്ങിൽ നമ്മളൊരു കോർ കോമ്പറ്റൻസ് ഇല്ല. ഐ വാസ് എ സെയിൽസ് റെപ്പ്, ദാറ്റ് വാസ് deep down into a red ocean, you know. You are swimming with sharks. അപ്പൊ അത് നമ്മൾ തുടക്കത്തിൽ അങ്ങനെ ആണെങ്കിലും, പക്ഷെ കരിയറിൽ കയറി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ പിന്നെ നമ്മുടെ കോമ്പറ്റൻസ് ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒന്നോ രണ്ടോ സ്ഥലത്ത് കൂട്ടി we should move ourselves to a blue ocean where it's much more calm. ഷാർക്കുകൾ കുറവാണ്, അതായത് കോമ്പറ്റീഷൻ കുറവാണ്, യു ക്യാൻ ക്രിയേറ്റ് യുവർ ഓൺ സ്പേസ്. പക്ഷെ ആ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് നീ പറഞ്ഞത് വളരെ ശരിയാണ്. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് വെയർ every student should be gunning for, you know. You can even start it as a fresh graduate if you slowly start somewhere, identify some areas and build your competence in that. So amazing concept, no doubt.
അപ്പൊ അതില് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു, ഞാനിപ്പോ ഒരുപാട് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോ തന്നെ we use get lot of resumes. അപ്പോ നമ്മളൊരു നാച്ചുറൽ പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ വാട്ട് വി ആർ ലുക്കിംഗ് അറ്റ്, സപ്പോസ് ഒരു റെസ്യൂമെ കിട്ടുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ അതിലൊരു ആള്, അതായത് പ്രോബ്ലി ആളൊരു റിവ്യൂ എഴുതിയിട്ടുള്ളൂ ഒരു നാച്ചുറൽ പ്രോഡക്ട്സിനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഹി മൈറ്റ് ഹാവ് ഡൺ ഒരു സിമ്പിൾ ഒരു എക്സ്പെരിമെന്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഹി കൺവേർട്ടഡ് ദാറ്റ് പ്രസന്റേഷൻ പോസ്റ്റർ അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് we will understand this particular person, he knows something about the natural products എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ഇതിൽ നോക്കാറുണ്ട്. So that itself, I mean, like a simple presentation അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു experiment he converted into a poster itself, it's giving a lot of weightage when we are going to an industry. That's what I'm talking.
That's great. ഓജി, അത് ശരിയാണ്. എന്താ അറിയോ, ഇറ്റ്സ് ഈസിയർ. അത് ഫ്രഷ് ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ്സ് ആകുമ്പം നമുക്കൊരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് കാണിക്കുന്നത് തന്നെ നമ്മളെ it will make people stand out. Absolutely true.
Sunil, I want to add one point here. Sunil, if you can hear me, because giving a feedback on technology development and R&D, because I could see most of people voting for research career. So here again, you know, if you look at the CVs that we received for last 20 years, CVs nowadays everybody come with a high mark. No, there is no people coming with low academics. Everybody has very good marks. So from the industry, it becomes difficult to screen people, whom to choose, whom not to choose. So we need to have a differential, as Amish said. There is something that is unique to the CV, some unique skill set that is added to the CV by doing a small project or some publication or review. So that shows the attitude of the person. That is very important. So one is skill sets that you gain. Second thing is the attitude. So it is better to identify which is your key area, because BPharm is a very diverse topics. You have from chemistry to engineering to different domains of pharmacy, and you can even diverse it out. You have electives in multiple topics. So it is better to choose, identify what is my passion, and then do something on that, and then put it along with the CV so that the industry or the employer know you better. That's my suggestion.
Great point.
Important. Suppose somebody is doing a project or something like that, he should have at least some knowledge about it. But in industry, like I used to get a lot of resumes, so I get impressed. Okay, this person knows something on the natural products. But when interview happens, we are asking some questions to that particular person. So he will tell, so sir, I went to this industry and that sir told me to do this experiment. I did that and I don't know anything. I mean, that will create a lot of negative impression also. So, I mean, like when you are doing something, please make sure that you are well aware of what you are doing. Whether it is a very small thing also, like you should make sure that you know something about that to speak about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. You have to be an expert in the domain. If not the full expert, at least a partial expert.
Yeah, at least you should have some words to talk about.
Correct.
Yeah. Then my suggestion is like do a SWOT analysis, like what is your strength, what is your weakness, what is the threat you are seeing, and what is opportunity lies. I mean, this is all general applications which can be used in any areas. So like as Manoj identified, his core strength is an engineering related kind of thing. So definitely I will look into that. And some people will be having a better communication and technical writing, which is their competitive advantage. They should find out that kind of area which is suitable for them. And if you have some weaknesses, like try to encapsulate that and improve on it. And understand where you can, where is the opportunity lies, and prepare for that. And again, I would suggest like preparing a roadmap where you are right now, where you want to reach. And use a lot of platforms like digital platforms, like we have a alumni platform like LinkedIn. People can easily join in that and interact with the industry leaders and talk, understand what is the industry is happening, and like that. This is what generally people should do. That's my suggestion. And I would say, like always, this is some of the key takeaways I'd like to share with people. Like identify what is your strength, and making a
Sunil, I think you're disconnected.
Yeah, it looks like we lost Sunil.
Yeah, so I don't know. People are aware that he's connected from Sri Lanka. He's at
Manoj,
project site.
Do you want to use? Yeah, he's coming back.
Okay. Yes, Sami, if you're telling something.
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm really sorry about that.
No problem, Oji. Let's continue. Let's continue. No problem. We can see the screen now.
Yeah. So always try to make a point of differentiation from others. That's the best. Where you can make a difference between others. As we said, like make some poster presentation, what all the areas we are looking for, and do some courses where you can improve your areas, some skill set, etc., etc. For example, if you are going for a QA, QC activities and all, do some training on HPLC, GC, etc., etc. So at least people can understand that this person knows this. Okay. And identify your areas of work. This is something like general kind of things. You can always look into it. Okay, I think Manoj, I did my major part, so now we can go for the discussion part of it.
Okay, I think we can start the Q&A. There are several questions which we could capture, and I will read out few of them. We can answer, Sunil. So one of the first question was, Nice to hear about challenges that you faced and how you're able to overcome. That is the first question.
Challenges in terms of career selection, or in terms of when you are working on a projects?
I think it is a
Or
technical
what is it?
question, maybe. It is not clear, but I guess it is a technical question. Maybe challenges in your field.
No, definitely when you're working on natural products, we'll encounter with a lot of challenges, because especially when you're working on a phytopharmaceuticals, you will be having a lot of challenges, like identifying the correct process, and sometimes we'll struggle with to remove 0.1% of impurity from a particular product. So that's also a challenge. Like there's a lot of challenges. Like there'll be a technical challenge, there is a product standardization challenge, and sometimes we will not find out correct quality testing methods, etc. So you can see a lot of, even if you are in middle of information, sometimes we'll stand clueless. And that's very easy. That's challenges will be there always, but sometimes we have to use our own intuitions. Sometimes we'll get some clue from the literature. Literature search is definitely one of the major thing you have to look into. Yes.
Fine. I think maybe the participant can answer the question again. I don't know.
When
Regarding starting an industry.
When you are looking at the literature, please don't depend on the general Google search. Use some authentic searches like PubMed or Google Scholar, etc., and ResearchGate, etc. Don't use just Google and get some knowledge. Most of them will be may not be an authenticated one, like what you're seeing in WhatsApp and all. So please use authentic literature search.
Yeah. Another question is how to enter this field. So maybe you can answer general. Maybe
that's a general. One is we have to find out where the opportunity lies. As I said, make your skill set. If you are interested in this field, at least make your skill set ready. At least try to make some point of differentiation with the other people, because we are competing with different people. So, like as we explained, try to go for some trainings of your area of interest during your BPharm time itself. You can do that and learn. Make your hands dirty. Whenever you are going for a training, we also did some training, but at that time we were not aware. We have to take it as serious as it is. But many of the time you are take the trainings in a very serious manner and get some go to the some conferences, do some paper presentations, etc., and do know the things what you are doing and understand it in a better way. So at least whenever you are talking about, you should have a fair idea about it. Yeah.
Okay. So another question is regarding the regulatory aspects, that's on the standards and regulatory guidelines, as well as recognition and endorsement from government bodies. How well it is in for natural product industry?
See, that depends on most of the things are like.
Yeah, looks like we lost him again.
Meantime, there in chat box I have shared a form, Google form for getting the e-certificate. Participants can fill that form and get this certificate.
Thanks, Prashant. So while we wait for Sunil to come back, maybe I can indicate some of the polling results that we have got today. Majority of students or participants vote for the seminar once in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have shared the results for polls.
Okay, thanks, Prashant.
I'm back.
Hi, Sunil, back.
Sorry. So we were talking about regulatory. So most of the regulatory comes under depending on which country you are giving your products. like there is a lot of regulations like US FDA and EU regulations, and in India mostly depends on like Ayush regulations are there, WHO GMP is there, etc., etc. I mean, it's all depends on, I mean, you have to go for almost all regulations, and there is a lot of certifications also in the natural product industry, like ISO, HACCP, and like so on. There is a lot of certification, and sometimes you have to go for the kosher, halal, if we are supplying to that areas. So these are all certifications required.
Okay, thanks, Sunil. This next question is specific to a product. If you can answer, maybe there's something called blue tea and butterfly pea powder tea. So how is that? Are you aware of this product? It's called blue
Blue
tea,
tea
and
probably, I mean, like it's derived from an algae. I mean, that's what, as far as I understand, it's derived from algae, and I mean, it's a color taken from algae and converted that into a tea form. This is what, I mean, I don't have much detailed idea about it.
okay, there's another one called butterfly pea powder tea. Heard of that? I'm new to
sure.
I'm new to that. Okay, fine. We'll move on to the next one. So, what is the difference in formulating nutraceuticals compared to the drugs or compared to the pharmaceutical?
Especially when you are looking at the natural products, there's a lot of challenges. Like when you're formulating, you have to choose the correct ingredient, as well as, I mean, like any other formulations, but you have to know what is the, for example, sometimes you cannot use certain additives like acidic additives, alkaline additives, etc., etc. You have to be very careful. And since it is a natural product, definitely moisture is a big challenge here, and shelf life is a big challenge here. So these are all things. Color is a challenge here, because batch to batch variation is a big challenge when you're formulating the things, because customer will be expecting a uniform product when he is going to a shop, but when you are extracting a natural products, every batch there could be a certain variation. So you have to do a lot of product standardization in natural product industry. So that's a big challenge.
Okay, so if I understood correctly, you mean to say that this origin of material is not so standardized like a pharma API. So you like to have variability, and you need to address that.
Yeah, even if you geographically we identified certain raw material, but sometimes what will happen, there could be a slight change, color change, etc. If there is a raw material, if it's not properly dried, or it is over dried, there itself you can expect a lot of color change. For example, if you are looking at a green tea extract, sometimes you will get a greenish color extract, sometimes it will change into a brownish color extract. So product which we are using that as a key ingredient, we need to do some masking at the final formulation end. So that's one challenge. And sometimes, for example, if you are using turmeric as a formulation, you may not able to use some alkaline additive in that. So it will easily degrade. So that is a kind of, I mean, like there is a lot of challenges in the formulation. So you have to look at into, and the stability studies also, like you're keeping for a long time, there could be a caking and beading in the formulation itself. So that is, I mean, like moisture issues, as I explained earlier. So these are all things to be looked at when you're doing a product formulation. Yeah.
Yes, Sunil, I have one question to you on that. What about the bioavailability of these phytoactive components? Is that taken care during formulations or anything special?
No, most of the products you are getting bio available, but as on when you are getting a more purified phytopharmaceuticals, etc., then there could be a chance of bioavailability, because like this one, I mean, turmeric is a big product. Turmeric formulators with the piperine, and some people formulate with the turmeric and turmeric oil and ginger, vanilla combinations to make a better bioavailability products. I mean, that's a lot of studies happening in this area. Yeah, probably Sami Labs, Sabinsa Corporation was one of the pioneers who started this kind of activities. Yes.
Okay, good.
Samish, I have one question. You told about the artificial nostrils for testing tea. How it's working in
Electronic nose.
electronic nose? You
This is
mentioned
basically, I mean, like it will be taking care of the high volatile flavors, and it is matching with some kind of what you call the fingerprints in this mass spectrometry, and it is comparing with the standard. That's how it is. That's called the electronic nose. It's a combined kind of thing.
okay. That means it may be a GCMS. It will be converting that volatile product to gas, isn't it?
Exactly.
Right.
And that library will be, I mean, designed in such a way to identify the correct one and to match it.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Prashant, there's one more thing to add on that. There is also nowadays a lot of use of artificial intelligence and pattern matching. So people recognize
Yeah.
various patterns from a spectrum or some sensor response and create a pattern and then try to match between two products or between two batches kind of thing.
Yeah, like we have in IR spectroscopy that we have a library. So we used to do steroid analysis in using FTIR.
Okay.
Like,
There is a question, Manoj, from Nisha Chandran, who's working in a drug testing laboratory. Do you keep mandatory tests for raw material analysis for pesticides, aflatoxin, and heavy metals? Yes. That is a very important test practice by every industry. Either it will be done at a raw material stage, or it will be done at a final stage, like evaluating the raw material for pesticides, aflatoxins, and heavy metals. Sometimes what will happen is like most of the products will be doing an analysis after making an extract or something product. So definitely these kind of tests are mandatory, and definitely when you are making a certificate of analysis for a particular product, these all parameters will be there, like product physical characters, product analytical markers, standardized, and the microbiology, aflatoxins, and heavy metal, etc., and pesticides, of course. Definitely, it will be there.
Sunil, one last question I saw is that what are the opportunities of pharmacy graduate in standardization of natural products? So
that's what I explained. Like we do a lot of studies in standardization. For example, we know how to do the column chromatography. We know how to do the TLC, HPTLC, which all, I mean, generally raw material standardization most of the times are done by HPTLC and all, because even though there is a marker in the particular every crude drug, for example, I would say for say general, suppose you are considering ginger as a crude drug, the gingerol is the major content, and pepper, piperine is the black pepper major content, and turmeric, it is curcumin. So even though these are the markers available, suppose when you are getting a crude drug, most of the companies, they will do, suppose if they are using a crude drug, definitely they will use a marker, and they'll do some fingerprinting to match whether this raw material is comparable with other, because there could be a lot of adulteration also sometimes. So that is the kind of standardization. So I mean, like a person with a pharma background got a better understanding of this kind of what could be ingredients in that. There could be some alcohol, there could be some glycosides, etc. So it is always easy for us to standardize, I mean, learn the art in a better way. Yeah.
Got it. I think I'm not seeing any more questions. Amish, do you have any other noted during the session?
No, I think questions we have covered almost everything, unless there is anything coming in now. Okay. So and it's also getting on to our time. So I think it's maybe OG. Do you mind if you want to conclude in any ways, or do you want me to conclude? How do you want to take it?
Sami, please go ahead. Yeah, you can conclude this.
Yeah. So I think it was a great session, OG, where you took the team through natural products as an industry. More importantly, you went through some of the high technologies or the key technologies which are prevailing now. And as we also heard from Manoj, some of the most interesting aspects of current students are to know about how are the career opportunities opening up in these areas. I think it was news to me as well. You know, when you talked about these different evolving scenarios or opportunities in natural products across, that too, that can be utilized, especially by pharmacy graduates, where what are the areas where we bring out some of the critical competencies to this industry. Those were really, truly amazing and insightful. So I think there were also fantastic questions on that. I once again like to underline one thing before we close. I think it was almost common what we closed on our last webinar as well as today's webinar. Identify your interest going forward, and it need not be only in one area. Keep your options open. Have 2 or 3 streams where you feel you want to create your or build your career. Second is team up with 1 or 2 people or 2 or 3 people from your batch or other batches who have got this similar or uniform interest. And Sunil touched upon a SWOT, to do a strength and weakness understanding, to see what are the things which I'm good at, or how can I make it even more stronger? And what are the things where I need to develop? The development areas, again, I wouldn't say you will have to do quite a lot. The bigger areas or the most important one is how can you strengthen your stronger areas even further? Those kind of things will definitely help you to be in a better shape. Other concept what we touched upon was how can you create your own space, or rather, how can you show your interests? How can you stand out when you send across a CV, when you stand up and talk in front of a person? So these are all things which we can look at building while you do your B Pharm or M Pharm, so that you're coming out as a much rounded professional who are more employable, whom people like to have in their teams or in their organizations. Before closing, OG or Manoj, do you have anything else to add?
Samish, maybe what you have seen from the industry, see, students, they would like to know how to get into a career. But the equally important thing is to stay afloat once you get into a career, to be sustainable and successful in the career. That is another point, because we have seen many people struggling to continue certain career which they ended wrongly. So your decision or option has to be quite accurate, and
that's very important.
That's where the SWOT analysis is very critical. And we have seen that across graduate, postgraduates, and PhD, those who came in and then they couldn't perform, and then they lag behind and they get into all kind of issues. So that's another point to be keeping in our mind when you're choosing a career, because nowadays you have a wide variety, wide choices in career. And I can say it's not the case last 20 years back. Now even a YouTube blogger is a career. So choose it wisely, choose where your passion is, and then that becomes naturally, it will take you forward. Nothing else to add.
Yeah. Great stuff. That's fantastic. So with this, I pass on to the person, Ranjish, for your closure and vote of thanks. And thanks so much, Oji. Thanks a lot. Appreciate this collaboration, especially from Manoj as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Oji.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Now we are left with only a vote of thanks. I think Dilip sir was assigned a task, but I don't know whether he's online now. Dilip sir, are you there? Okay, anyway, I'll do that. Okay, before giving the vote of thanks, even though there were some technical glitches in between, but I think all the students had a very good session, an interesting session, and exposure to the natural industry. We appreciate the dedication and the commitment of Mr. Sunil Kumar Oji, who has joined us today evening from Sri Lanka. And I appreciate that. I think all the audience will be knowing that Sri Lanka is not that well developed in IT connectivity. So even with that, he has spent his valuable time with us today evening. On behalf of all the corps members, I express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Sunil Kumar Roji. Thank you, Sunil Kumar. And then I also express our sincere thanks to Mr. Samish Menon and Manoj MN. Okay, now next is the I have something for students. Dear students, we have tentatively fixed our next date of webinar as on November 14th, that is on the Children's Day, and we have fixed as a speaker Mr. Manoj MN, and I think Manoj can share some of his areas of interest to the students, so that students can be informed about the next session. If you can, please.
Okay, yeah, Ranjish. So I think last two sessions primarily we have covered the sales related and natural products related. So when I look in the polls, I see a large number of voting for research career from various students. So I would take my session through keeping that in mind, because last 2 decades I am in R&D and technology development, so I can put more emphasis on what are the things that you do now, like when you are in the early in B Pharm or you're in M Pharm or PhD. What are the important aspects that you need to touch upon or brush upon or fine tune, which will make you a successful person in the R&D. So I would take some examples, touch upon some technical aspects on the also looking at the syllabus and see what all I can touch upon based on that. And primarily it's on molecular diagnostics going to be, because that is one of the key area that you see now on COVID scenario. But it's not just related to diagnostics, it's be in general on an R&D and the learning or study that is required to get into a career like that. I hope that's clear.
Okay, thank you, Manoj. So we are looking forward for that. So that's all. Anything else, Prashant sir? Sijo? Shall we wind up?
Feedback from a student.
Yeah, feedback link is put on the chat box. They can fill it surely today or by tomorrow. They'll be getting the certificate.
No, one feedback from Anaga. Anaga is ready, I think.
Anaga is there. Anaga was not there in this panelist list. That's why I didn't call her. Is she available? Anaga is there? Anaga?
Let me check in the attendees. If she is available, I can. Anaga CPS Kottayam. Okay, I'll be moving her to panel list.
Okay.
Okay, now Anaga is here.
So before winding up, we'll just hear a feedback from Anaka. She's a third year B Pharm student from College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Medical College, Kottayam. Anaga, okay, please unmute it. Okay, good evening. Carry on.
Good evening all. I am Anaga, second year undergraduate pharmacy student from College of Pharmaceutical Science, Kottayam. First of all, I would like to thank the speaker of the session, Sunil Kumar sir and Sami sir, the moderator of the informative webinar, which was conducted by Corps Global. All the information that you told us about the natural products and industry opportunities, and most importantly, the career opportunities, gave me a new perspective about the pharma field. And the infographics that you created made it easy for us to understand the concepts. And the question and answer section that was conducted at the end of the session was really informative and motivating. And I thank Corps Global for making it a great learning experience for all of us. Thank you.
Anaga, that was
Thank you,
great.
Anaga. Thank you for the nice words, Anaga. I appreciate that.
Thank you. So shall we wind up?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So
Thank
we
you
will
all.
look forward.
Bye.
We will see you on November 14th, hopefully.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.